Welcome to the Dow Chemical Company. Dow takes its health, safety, and environmental responsibilities seriously and expects the same of all contractors, visitors, and employees who enter into our site. The site procedures and safety rules that you will see in this presentation have been produced for your safety. You will be entering a Dow site that is intrinsically safe. However, it is a site that you will not be familiar with. For this reason, you must be inducted and learn about our site safety rules, which you must adhere to. Failure to comply with these site rules could lead to expulsion from the site or termination of your contract. All visitors must report in at reception where your ID will be checked. You will also be shown where to sign in. The purpose of this is to ensure the roll call is validated at all times in case there should ever be an emergency situation, such as fire or site evacuation. For this reason, it is paramount that you also sign out when leaving the site. You will be asked to watch this induction presentation by your site host. The date of your induction will be recorded on our site induction database, and you will be exempt from having to watch this presentation again should you visit our site within a period of 12 months. Every contractor working on our site will have a Dow site contact. He or she will be your main point of contact, and they will be responsible for the control of your work whilst you are on our site. Before any work is started on site, each contractor will be asked to review the completed method statement with their site contact. This review meeting will identify any precautions that will be taken to safeguard contractors and Dow staff, as well as protecting the environment. A critical aspect of managing site safety is our Safe Work Permit system, which is a mandatory requirement. The Permit to Work system is supported by our Safe Systems of Work checklists to prompt the issuer to ask relevant questions and develop a degree of understanding between the issuer and the contractor. A Safe Work Permit is required for the following types of work on site: hot work, electrical work, working at height, confined spaces, line breaking, and pipe work. A Safe Work Permit is required for all hazardous work regardless of area. The permit will have a specific time period, but may be extended by the area supervisor or manager. Contractors who sign the permit to work accept the conditions within the area where they will be working. Failure to observe these agreed conditions may lead to a withdrawal of the permit. The permit must be signed at the beginning and at the end of the work. A new permit will be required should a job overrun. It is important to note that any permit issued will be for a specific task only. Under no circumstances must you carry out any work that has not been specified on the permit. All permits issued to you will require your signature to show that you've agreed to the conditions laid down in the permit and have fully understood them. If for any reason conditions change, then the work must stop and you must seek advice from your Dow site contact. All work carried out on site must comply with Dow standards, as well as any other legislative requirements. Therefore, all your own tools or equipment used on site must be suitable for the work undertaken and must comply with all relevant legal standards. Where your Safe Work Permit specifies that hot work will be carried out, for example, welding, cutting, or sawing, inspection checks must be made, such as isolation of equipment and pipe work, in ensuring that pipes and vessels are clear and clean of chemicals that could be potentially explosive or flammable. Dow has an integrated addressable fire alarm system, which includes heat detectors and smoke detectors. If any activity you are carrying out generates heat, smoke, or dust, then this should be discussed with your Dow contact. You may require a fire trolley and a fire watch to be in operation. A hierarchy of controls is in place for portable electrical equipment and tools. Battery-powered tools are preferred. Low voltage, 110 volt, are acceptable, and the use of 240 volts is only permissible as a last resort, and then only with RCD protection. Ensure all electrical fixtures are turned off, locked off for your safety and that of others. All electrical contractors will be required to view a basic electrical safety presentation. Working on ladders is subject to a safe work permit. Ladders must be compliant with the standards BS 1129 wooden ladders, BS 2037 aluminum ladders, or BS EN 131 for the European standard. Only ladders that have been checked and certified are to be used on this site. While working with ladders, it is important to remember that wooden ladders are to be used in electrical areas or where electrical work is being carried out. Ensure that the ladder is secured properly. Ensure that the ladder is on a firm footing and is stable. Ensure that electrical tools are not used while working at heights on ladders. Always follow best working at height practices. All elevated working platforms, such as scaffolding and towers, must be inspected and tagged at regular intervals and certainly prior to use. Where the activity involves excavation type work, typically where excavation will be 20 centimeters or more into the ground, checks must be made to ensure that it is safe to do so and that all underground pipework and cabling is identified prior to any dig. All line breaking and pipework is subject to approval from your safe work permit issuer to ensure the lines or pipes are clean and cleared. We have a red tag policy in place on this site. Should your activities involve any equipment that has a red tag, stop. Do not use, as other work may be in progress. Report the matter to your site contact immediately. It is sometimes important to remember to protect other people by preventing them from coming into contact with your working environment. Therefore, ensure the area is properly cordoned off, that equipment is secured and locked off, and that it is adequately illuminated when it is dark. We also have numerous vehicles accessing our site. This can include forklift trucks, tankers, HGVs, and courier vans. It is essential you are vigilant when crossing roadways in particular, and designated road crossings are in place for your safety. Please note, this site operates on one-way road system, and the speed limit is 10 miles per hour. This site stores chemicals. Therefore, you can expect to see an array of different warning labels displayed on various drums and containers on this site. It is essential that you know what you are working with and that you understand any significant health and any environmental effects they may have. This will be identified in your safe work permit, and that any necessary precautions for safety can be arranged. If, despite all foreseeable safety precautions have been implemented, you should be heavily splashed and contaminated with a chemical, there are safety showers in key places which you should use in the first instance. Remember to shower for a minimum of 15 minutes to wash off, dilute, any chemical substance from the body. In the event of a small chemical splash or foreign body in the eye, there are strategically placed eye wash stations for first aid use. Ensure a first aider is called in the event of any chemical splash or other type of injury. For areas on site where we manufacture, test, and store many types of chemical products, the wearing of eye protection and use of protective clothing is mandatory. The very basic PPE to be worn should include safety eyewear, a hard hat, safety boots, and long-sleeved overalls. If the activity should be within the laboratory environment, the minimum PPE shall be safety shoes, safety eyewear, and long-sleeved overcoat. Where your activity may involve specific hazards and protection needed, then this will be identified on your safe work permit. Absorption, inhalation, ingestion. These are the routes for chemicals to get into the body. We have canteen rooms and facilities on site that have been provided to you for the consumption of food and drinks. Clean clothes are mandatory in the canteen rooms. Please do not eat food or consume drinks in the machine hall, laboratories, and warehouse areas. Good personal hygiene is important. wash hands before eating or drinking. To further ensure your safety and the safety of others, we have the following prohibitions in place. No smoking except in the designated area as identified to you by your site contact. Drugs and alcohol are banned from being brought onto the site, and if you are suspected of drug or alcohol intoxication, you will be removed and suspended from the site. If you are taking medication that could impair your ability to work safely, such as may cause drowsiness, do not operate machinery, you will be considered unable to work at this time. The use of mobile phones, personal stereos, MP3 players, and similar devices are banned from use in all of the development, warehouse areas, and roadways as they can interfere and distract people from good, safe working practices. It is strongly recommended that all rings are removed from fingers and stored securely before work begins to prevent injuries. For your safety, please adhere to our policy of using the handrail when using the stairway access routes. Where you are transporting large and/or heavy loads, work in teams where possible. It is essential that all work areas, gangways, entrances, and exits are kept clear from obstruction at all time. Any spillage, however small, must be contained and reported as a loss of primary containment, or LOPC, so that they can be disposed of in a responsible manner. No waste material or effluent may be disposed of on site without permission of the Dow management. Any generators or large handling equipment that you bring onto our site must not affect the environment or create noise pollution or any odors that could have a detrimental effect upon our site or the surrounding areas. Don't assume that offices aren't without hazards. Safety and security is just as important, so follow these simple checks. Look out for trip hazards such as trailing cables, open drawers, and keep them tidy. Consider your ergonomics and ensure you are not overreaching and stretching. Check that items such as portable heaters and radiators are turned off and unplugged when not in use. The alarm call points in the warehouse, machine hall, and office buildings are tested every Monday at 10 a.m. for a period of 30 seconds. There is no need to respond to this, as it is a function test. However, should the alarm sound at any other time, leave what you are doing and make your way through the nearest exit point to the muster point in the car park for your roll call. Should you come in contact with or see any situation which could cause a fire, we would ask that you firstly activate any of the on-site fire call points that are situated around the site at each fire exit. After activating the alarm, you should exit the building and report to the fire assembly point, which is in the car park at the main gate. All persons who signed in at reception will be checked off against the same signing in book. For your information, your assembly point or muster point is located on the front car park near to the main gates as you come in. Should you be involved in an accident, or if you see an unsafe activity on site which could lead to a personal injury, you must report this to any Dow employee. We do have on site a number of qualified first aiders who will assist you should you have a minor accident. We will then investigate the cause in an effort to prevent reoccurrence of a similar incident. During and after your work on our site, you, the contractor, will be evaluated and your performance will be audited to establish if you complied with our required contractor work standards. This report will be forwarded to the site health and safety departments. Any companies who have been found to be non-compliant will be removed from our approved contractors list. Please note, we reserve the right to stop and search any person or vehicle that leaves our site, should we believe that Dow company property may have been removed without our knowledge or approval. We at Dow Chemical want your visit on our site to be in a safe and environmentally friendly manner. We hope that you have found this presentation useful and informative. Thank you for your time and cooperation.